Mr. T.
Yes.
I put it in man to wear my jewellery. I do. Is that Mr. T?
That is Mr. T.
Yeah. For anybody who is looking at buying a coat, I wouldn't recommend buying a smock. Today I have installed a new pond in my shed. Bridgewater young farmers, carol singers. Oh my, every time. Hello. Okay.
So we had some visitors.
I'll edit that out. We have microphones now, don't we, dear?
Yes, dear.
It's hoofing it down with rain. But what we're going to do, welcome to Between the Furrows, by the way. What we're going to do is, we did a crop walk yesterday. No, we didn't. 2 days ago. In the glorious sunshine. And now, completely different. So what we wanted to do was just show you a few bits of our kit, which we use to put all our crops in and keep our crops growing. So where would you like to start, dear? I think we should start with him.
Why did you ask me then?
I asked Evie where she wanted to start and then completely ignored her and went my own way.
Chronologically, so start with cultivating.
Start with the cultivating. Okay. So
Do you agree?
I do.
Yeah.
Not all of my cultivation equipment's in here. But this, I thought you dropped a baby then. So in the video I said we sumoed the field, which watching it back, some people probably don't know what that means. I don't have loads of sumo people running around the field. This is a cultivator called a sumo. We bought this about 2 years ago. It's a 2.5 metre sumo, so it's not very wide. I think it's the smallest one they do actually. And these are on breakbacks. So this ram here, shall I go into that much detail? This ram here, if you hit a stone, the pressure goes back through into these, which relieves, these can then break back and then you reset them in place. So these are actually up at the moment. So when it's working, these legs are down. So they rip through the ground, which lifts the ground, and then the ground comes back into these discs, which roll around like that. This one's a bit tight, actually. Why are they so tight? Needs a wash. And then that breaks up, followed by the roller, which packs it down. So that's the cultivating. That is what you saw in that duckets field. That's what we've done. It's a bit, I said I was going to wash it in a couple of videos ago. I haven't got around to doing that yet, but I will. So this is one of our cultivators. We also have a mold drainer, which is outside. I need to get it inside because it's quite new to us, and I don't like keeping stuff outside because I think it ruins the paintwork. But that's outside, and Evie has a baby here, and I don't want them getting wet. But we have this big mold drainer, which I might take a...
I can zip them in if you want to show everyone.
No, it's all right. I think I can get a picture off from when I was using it last. So, but this is a one-pass cultivator, the first one we've ever had, actually. So new to us for a couple of years, and yes, ideal. Right, let's move on to, and I'll just give a bit of background history, actually. So when I came... I've been working at home now for 5 years, 6 years on our farm. I used to work off farm, worked off farm for 12 years, and then I came home to work, and that was 5 years ago. So when I came home to work, we had older John Deere tractors. We've been John Deere for a long time, but older John Deere tractors. So I came home, and we have changed a lot of the kit around. So when I came home with the tractors that we had a 6820 and a 6530. I appreciate that won't mean much to everybody, but they're just older, smaller John Deere tractors, which wouldn't pull something like this, because this takes quite a lot of pulling in the ground. So we made a bit of a change. So that we've had that for 2 years. This is a... You coming, darling? Come with me and you'll see in a world of pure imagination. I don't know if that's the words.
Yeah, you did pretty well.
Did I?
Yeah.
Amazing. So we bought this second-hand in 2021. I hope the lighting's okay. It's a bit dark in this shed. I apologise. So we bought this in 2021 second-hand, had 2,000 hours on it. And this was...
A lot?
Sorry?
For like people who don't know, would you say that's a lot?
So we bought it in 21, and it's a 19 plate, so it's 2-year-old, which is about 1,000 hours a year, which I would say now, in modern terms, is relatively low. Okay. There'll be farmers out there putting like 3,000 hours a year on their tractors. It all depends what you're doing. So relatively low, and so we've had that since 2021. It's now 2025, and it's only done 3,200 hours. So I've put 1,200 hours on it in 4 years. So we bought this in 2021, and it's enabled us to buy stuff like the Sumo because it's more power, it's a heavier tractor, it has more tech on it, has a different gearbox, has more lifting power on the link arms. So that's enabled us to buy stuff like the Sumo and the mole plough, because the mole plough does take some pulling. It's surprising. So we've had this since 2021, second hand, but obviously it was a big change for us. And I think that was a positive change, actually. And for people wondering, in 2021, second hand with 2,000 hours on, this tractor cost £108,000.
But that didn't get paid for outright, did it?
No, that doesn't. That goes on to a financial agreement with John Deere. In the cropping video, I refer to combi drill, which means combination drill. So you've got a power harrow on the front, which mixes all the soil up and works it down and leaves a nice seed bed. And then the drill is here, and the seed. You put the seed in, and the seed comes down, out there, into the ground, and then the drag it over, and it's drilled. A very, very simple drill, simple system. The wind is horrible, but you won't be hearing that because I have my new mic. It's a very simple drill, very simple system, and it's just ideal. We have so many different soil types on the farm that a combi drill is ideal for us. I don't know what the price on this was because we've had this for a very, very long time, which is why I didn't add in depreciation in that last video, because it's minimal now, a bit of tying wear, but not very much. And it's great. We looked at getting a 4-meter combination drill. This is an Amazon, the brand Amazon. We looked at Lemkin, but new, they were £100,000. Or second hand was about 70. So not for us really at the moment. I think we need a couple more 100 acres before we get there. We do have a power harrow which we can put on the front of this tractor. Let's go and have a look.
Now, why would you put a power harrow on the front when you've got one on the combi drill already?
It's a very good question, darling.
Thank you.
You can't use it all the time on the front. It depends on the year. If it's a wet year, you need to power harrow, let it pitch off a bit or dry off a bit. So we'll put this on the other tractor. But then some years where it's been a dry year, you really want to be right behind the first, if you're going to do 2 passes, the first pass of the power harrow. So you put it on the front, so the front is doing the first pass, you're not losing any moisture, and then the second power harrow plus the drill is coming behind, and you're putting it straight in, and then you can have the roller straight behind, moisture's in the ground. There's pros and cons with it. We don't like doing it. We like to run it on the other tractor because it's a lot easier. I mean, the pro is you're using one tractor and one man, so you're not running 2 machines. And there's not much time difference between the two. If you had one man doing 2 jobs separately, obviously it would take a lot longer. So the one thing I don't like about it is on your headlands you can't turn with it. You have to sort of square everything, so that gets a bit awkward. And it's just a fair rig when you're using it. It's just more to think about. But it is an option. We have that as an option. So this is our Mashio power harrow, and it's, I don't know how old that is. 3 years. Mower, I mean, this is self-explanatory. It just cuts the grass. It's got a conditioner on it. There's not much to say about it, really. We don't cut a huge amount of grass. The last place I worked, I used to use triple mowers. So you had 2 on the back and 1 on the front, and that was. I always said that was the best job on the farm. I used to love doing that. It was just easy. And then I've come home to 1 mower, which is a bit more painful because it's a lot slower. But it is a very good mower, and I'm grateful we have it, really. So there's not much to it. It's 10 foot. Foot spinner, which is quite old now, but it does the job. It's getting a little bit rusty. I'll just show you guys in down there. See, if you poke in here, darling. See, it's all getting a bit rusty in here. So we looked at changing the spinner, and they offered us about, I think it was £1,000 for this, because it is very old now, to be fair. I think it's 2011 or something like that. And they offered us about £1,000, but a new one was about £20,000. So again, we're just going to keep this one running. It's still working. There's a bit of rust. We might be able to do a bit of work on it. And it doesn't stripe. I get all the settings easy enough. So it's fine. So just a few trailers. A lot of the viewers saw this in Richard Cornock's video. And I would argue that Richard Cornock will get many, many more views than ours will. So you've seen that. 8-row maize drill. We don't own this. It's nothing to do with us. It's just been stored in here. And this is our TX63 combine, which we harvest everything with. Very, very popular combine. Back in the day, I think it was 2003. We had some severe issues with it in 2024 harvest. Actually, it was so severe, we got the combine out. We started the first wheat field of the year. I think Dad he cut the headlam and a few runs, and a main bearing went in it, and it cost £6,000. And we didn't have the combine for basically the rest of the harvest season. And our local dealer was very, very kind and got a combine ready for us, got it out to us to get us going. And that was fantastic. It was a great combine that they let us use. So we priced that up, as you do. You know when you drive something new, and you're like, oh, this is nice. Oh, it's so much quieter in here. But the figures didn't work out on that, so we left it. We spent the money on this one. Well, we had to spend the money on this one anyway. And now it's back in the shed.
So, on that crop walking video that we did,
Yes.
you had some really interesting questions. Do you still get paid if your SFI fails? And if you do still get paid, then why would you not just do everything SFI to reduce any risk of failure, like that field which you think may have failed?
So the answer to that is no. The government comes around with machetes and chases you around. No. So if you planted your crop and it fails, yes, you can still get paid, but you have to keep evidence. So you can't just apply for it and say, well, I tried to grow it and it didn't grow, so I still want to get paid, because you've got absolutely no proof. You have to have like seed receipts from where you bought it from, pictures of it being drilled, pictures of it coming up, pictures of it, a couple of months later in the field, which we do that, and we keep it in an app called Omnia, which all of our SFI and BPS stuff goes on there as a source of proof. So if that crop now fell tomorrow, which it won't because it's doing really well, but if it fell tomorrow, yes, I would still get paid. I have all the proof from drilling up until now that it was there.
So why don't you do the whole farm?
You can only, it gets a bit complicated. So that particular cover crop is not taking cereal ground out of production. So actually, I could put that SFI over the whole arable area. You could do that. But stuff like long-term lays, so legume lays or flour mix or bird seed, which are in for sort of 3 to 5 years, you can only put up to 25% of your total acreage.
So you're not taking food production.
Exactly, yeah. There never used to be a limit, but the trouble is it pays so much better than producing food at the moment, which is crazy, that a lot of big farms, like say you had 10,000 acres, they were taking like 8,000 acres. This is just an example, it's probably over exaggerated, and putting the whole lot in because it was much more financially, it made much more financial sense to do that. But they capped it because they were running out of money very quick. Me and Evie would just like to thank the Funky Farmer, or Richard Cornock, for coming down on Saturday, really, wouldn't we? And of course Harry, yeah. It was, we've been watching him for probably 10 years. It must be 10 years, it might be 12 years. And so we are genuine fans of Funky Farmer, and I saw he was coming to the market. We're not that far from market, and he popped in. And I got to say, he is a genuine, nice bloke, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's like a nice family, there's nothing, he's just genuine. He is what he is, and I just want to thank him for coming down to see us. We hope to go up to see him, actually, don't we?
Yeah, he did mention about springtime, getting you milk in.
Yeah, getting me milk. And just so all you viewers know, I haven't milked for about 18 years. Thank you all very much, and we hope that you'll continue to follow us And I very much look forward to going up to Richard's, the Funky Farmers farm, and having a look round and buying him a few beers. That'd be really nice. This is my sprayer. This is 2011, 24 metres. There's not much to say about it really. It's 24 metres, and it's a very good sprayer. It's been a good sprayer to us. Still is a good sprayer to us. The thing is with sprayers is, or actually all machinery, keep it well serviced. If you look after them, they'll do well. And like I said, this is 2011, so it's 14, nearly 15 years old. And it's a really good bit of kit. We had a quote a while back for a new one, and it was £58,000. So we carry on with this one. Actually, stay right there.
I liked that one.
I love you.
I love you too.
You're beautiful to me.
Only to you.